Hi and welcome to Amendoeira Golf Resort here in Portugal. My name is Chris Ryan and today we're going to take a look at long irons and give you some things that you can do in your golf swing to help you hit them much better when you're out on the golf course. So thank you for joining me here at Amendoeira. I've been out here for about 4 days hosting a golf school and just stayed on to film some content on this fantastic practice facility that you see behind me. And we are talking in this video about how you can perform better on the golf course with your long irons. I have got a 2-iron in my hands and we're going to go through what I would do to hit this golf club. Now, to golfers out there listening to this video, long irons might mean something different. For you, long irons might be anything maybe after a 6-iron. You may be classing your 3 and your 4 irons as long irons. But ultimately, we're looking at the golf clubs which have a little bit more length in the club shaft and have a little bit less loft on the golf club. And these very, very often trouble handicap golfers and they really struggle to get the desired distance and also control the direction that they go. Let's go ahead and just show you 2 examples of things that I would tend to see when a golfer is struggling with the long irons. The first example would be when the golfer tries to hit these long irons a little bit too similar to how they would hit their short iron. So maybe something like a 9 or an 8-iron. So I've got my 2-iron here and this would not be uncommon. Okay, so you can see that shot there. It started very, very low in its flight. It stayed very, very low, and the result was it hit the ground after maybe 130, 140 yards. It actually felt like a pretty good strike. But if that was me on the golf course, the first question I'm going to ask would be, why does that 2-iron not go further than maybe a 6-iron or a 5-iron? Then we might get the opposite extreme. We might get the golfer who really struggles to hit these, and they sort of maybe have this sort of pattern. Okay, and you can see I've pretty much dead topped that ball. It's only gone about 50, 60 yards. So both of those examples, as you can imagine on a golf course, not really going to give me any kind of result that I can use. I've got a ball which goes too low, not very far, and then one which just rolls along the ground. So why do those 2 things happen? Well, if we play the shot too much like a short iron, we generally have an approach angle to the ball which is too steep. When we have an approach angle which is too steep, we can't really get the ball launching into the air and get the desired distance. If we then have that golfer who struggles with the height, they try and lean back too much, leave too much weight on the trail leg, we often find their attack angle gets too shallow and we hit that top. So hitting the long irons successfully and consistently is really about controlling the attack angle. If we can control the attack angle, we should be able to get the ball into the air at the right angle, and that's going to help us achieve the right distance. So how do we control attack angle? Well, really it's to do with ball position and how we move our body through the golf swing. So if I was to set myself up to this 2-iron, you're going to notice that that golf ball is slightly forward of my stance. Relative to my sternum, again, it's slightly forward. And I'm still going to set slightly more weight into my lead side by feeling like I bump my hips a little forward and raise my lead hip a fraction higher. So this is where a lot of golfers really struggle. To have the weight slightly forward feels a little bit counterintuitive. These long irons, we're kind of seeing low loft, we're seeing low flight, and we're trying to move the weight back. But if we have to hit these consistent, we have to control the attack angle, we have to have this starting position. I want my attack angle to be slightly descending, slightly. That's going to give us the quality of strike we need, but enable us to launch the ball nicely into the air. So once I've got myself set up, I've got the ball nicely forward, I really want to still focus on the golf swing on finishing fully with my weight on my left side, body extended, belt buckle facing the target, chest pointing up, nice extension. I still finish with my weight going through. I have to trust that there is enough loft on the golf club to get that ball in the air. There is enough loft on the golf club. They wouldn't be selling these golf clubs if there wasn't enough loft. We have to trust that. There is another point we have to discuss here though. The height that a ball goes, that it peaks at, so its highest point, is very much down to, well, a few factors, but one of those factors is speed. So if you can imagine 2 golf balls take off at the same angle, but one's got significantly more speed, the one with the lower speed will begin to drop out the sky much sooner, so its peak height will be much lower. The other golf ball with more speed will continue to rise, it will reach a higher peak, and it will start to drop a little softer. So some golfers that I see are struggling to get the long irons to go further than their mid irons. And unfortunately, we have to say to these golfers, it's just down to speed. If you are that golfer and you feel it's maybe due to a lack of speed, that's when we can start to look at hybrid clubs. The weight's much lower. that enables you to launch the ball higher, and that's going to give you the distance that you require. So if you feel like you're striking the ball well, you're doing some of the things that we're talking about in this video well, and you're still not getting the height or the distance, unfortunately it may well be that you don't have enough club head speed. The final thing we're going to touch on is just what your intent is. I am intending to swing this club the same as my irons in terms of its tempo and its rhythm. Again, so common is we get these long irons, we struggle with these long irons, we've got a history of hitting bad shots with these long irons, we get tense over the ball, we rush that takeaway, we get short and snatchy. That's only going to lead to bad things down at impact. So let's take that nice grip pressure, let's make sure that club's moving before we hit the ball, keeps the tension out, the takeaway's nice and smooth. Setup is going to control attack angle, commit through to the finish, trust the loft that's on the golf club, and hopefully we can get a better result with these. Right, I've got myself pretty much under pressure here because I've got a 2-iron, which is yeah, not the easiest club to hit from the ground, but let's go ahead. So I've got my nice setup, ball position good, weight slightly left, keeping that club nice and loose in my hands. See if we can go and hit it. And that's absolutely perfect. Just drawing a little left of where I was aiming, but the contact was good. The trajectory was as I planned. The distance, therefore, is what I'd expect from that 2-iron. And if I was on the course, I'd be pretty happy with that shot. So hopefully that helps. Some things that you can do to help you perform better with your longer irons. It is a question that I get asked all the time, so hopefully there's some information in there which can help you. Huge thank you to Arden for letting me have access to this facility. I'm sure you'll agree this driving range looks absolutely superb, and I can vouch for the courses as well. They are superb as well. Thank you for watching, really appreciate it. Usual stuff is down below, comments box, like button. There's also a button over there which will allow you to subscribe to the channel for free. Would love to have you part of my channel and have you along for the journey. Thanks for watching. We'll hopefully see you back here again soon.